What's up, YouTube? What's happening? So it turns out Michelle Pfeiffer turned down the lead role in Basic Instinct, which blew up Sharon Stone. Wow. I never knew that. But Michelle Pfeiffer had this a watery vibe appeal that she could have pulled that off. Maybe it was because of the whole one scene that everybody knows at the table. Because really, that's what made Basic Instinct such a big movie. And Sharon Stone blew up behind that. I mean, she really happened to be in a couple of movies where it was a scene or two that's what people used to talk about. It's funny what counted for pop cultural moments that blew up everything because um that was one of the things that made people like really gush about the whole thing. And Michael Douglas was always like the male victim, and Fatal Attraction to this one. There's always some subplot, and he always having to be in those kind of movies where that woman turns or the craziness that happens. If you notice that seemed to be his mantra. He always was the victim man. But this was a trip out film. It was big in '92. It's funny, like when you think back to that time period and how that film and that whole thing, that whole scene, that's what, Sharon Stone basically rolled a 20-year career off of that. You used to could do those sort of things. It's kind of like in sports, I'd say like the coach who leads his team to the championship, may win or lose, but you did that one thing, it bought you a 20-year pass. And that's kind of how Sharon Stone's career was basically built off of that because that was the selling point of what got her over. Michelle Pfeiffer had a lot of big time roles. She came a long way from doing Grease Part 2. Obviously when she's in Scarface and she had, Frankie and Johnny, she had done a balance of movies and roles which enabled her and prospered her. And so she had a very distinctive quality as an actress. So she wasn't hurting for the iconic role or that moment role. It's just that this particular one revolved where it did. Well, maybe it just didn't feel right for her to take on that particular role. So then you get someone like Sharon Stone who hit that role. And so people can second guess and question stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't, it's not in the cards, it's not a good fit. So you take that in consideration when you're watching the movies and or so on and so forth. But I think it worked out pretty well. I don't think there's any questions about it that they got the right person, right role, right circumstances, and so it was interesting about it. Now, do I think Michelle Pfeiffer could have pulled the role off? Yeah, I do. I do. I think there's only a handful that I think could have probably pulled that kind of manic, that kind of edge, you know, and I think she would have been one of them. But I think Sharon Stone had worked better in the favor. Now there are tiers to this, and I think Michelle Pfeiffer is a two-tier ahead of Sharon Stone as a tier as an actress. But I think Sharon Stone definitely hit that particular role really well. And so sometimes we don't always base it. There's all the bodies, and then sometimes someone that's mediocre can look good in a particular role. So I think that's one of them things that kind of worked in the favor. But yeah, it's interesting. Michelle Pfeiffer turned that film down, and the rest is history. But what do you say? What you think? Do you think Michelle Pfeiffer should have done the movie? Would you like to seen her and Michael Douglas in the scenes, etc.? Or do you like it the way it was? Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments. And I do respond, thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another, and share the video if you like, and hit that membership because we do requests. I do take various requests on different things. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. I'm out one time. Peace.